Hello, everyone. Welcome to A Garden a Day with Maidenbrock Gardens, where we explore the world one garden at a time. Today is June 3rd. We're off to the UK today, to one of England's most famous gardens, designed by one of the UK's most celebrated garden writers and television personalities. Today we are exploring Great Dixter in East Sussex, England. So much has been said about Great Dixter through the years that if you know anything about gardens, you probably already know a great deal about Great Dixter. Great Dixter is known both for its house and its exceptional gardens. The house is a combination of two 15th century structures combined with additions made in 1910 to 1911, made for its then new owner, Nathaniel Lloyd. It's a Grade 1 listed building. The garden's design began with Nathaniel and his wife Daisy, but it was their son Christopher Lloyd who made Great Dixter famous. By age 30, he'd already dedicated his life to making a living from gardening. He opened a nursery at Great Dixter and published his first book on gardening in 1957. What came next were almost 50 years of gardening, writing about gardening, and talking about gardening. Great Dixter became the most written about garden in England. Lloyd passed away in 2006, and the management of Great Dixter went to the Great Dixter Charitable Trust, formed by Christopher Lloyd to ensure that Great Dixter carried on after his death. Fergus Garrett is the head gardener at Great Dixter, a position he's held since 1993. There are 19 garden areas at Great Dixter. All were intentionally planted, but many look quite natural, with full-grown plants spilling over narrow pathways. Possibly the most famous area is the long border. It was designed to show no gaps between plants. In his own words, Lloyd wanted the border to look exuberant and uncontrived. For a more formal garden, the peacock garden with 18 topiary birds will delight. Each topiary is surrounded by a variety of lush flowering something or others in pinks, whites, and yellows. There is also a topiary lawn. The topiary are manicured, but the lawn between has been left to a natural state and form a meadow. There is really nothing truly formal about any of the garden areas at Great Dixter. There is a quite practical vegetable garden, which is probably the tidiest of all the gardens at Dixter, whereas many of the open spaces in the other areas of the garden have been seeded and left to return to meadow. Every good house deserves a moat, and Great Dixter has two. The upper moat no longer contains water and is now a meadow. The lower moat still contains a bit of water and has an informal planting structure. Between 2017 and 2019, Great Dixter underwent a biodiversity audit. One of the most impressive findings from the audit was the richness of the pollinator community found at Great Dixter. The gardening methods used and the diversity of plants have contributed to a diverse insect population. I've included a link to the report in the notes. The garden hosts many interesting learning programs throughout the year. Some of the most intriguing are their workshops on Victorian gardening techniques and behind-the-scenes tours. The garden is open between 11 and 5 almost daily. They're closed on Mondays, but the nursery is open year-round. Well, that's about it for today's garden visit. Join me here tomorrow to find out where we're going next. Thank you for listening today and every day. If all goes well, I'll be right back here tomorrow. See you then.